Here we go then, another week of Beat the First Man with me, Reedy. Coming up on this week's show, we have the band Fallen Angels on Zooming In with someone you might recognise in the band. Ted is back with a Euros little knob of the week, and there's 2 forfeits in store, one for Dad, one for Lad. It all based on the Scotland v England game. So what are we waiting for? Roll the titles. So here we are then, another episode of Beat the First Man with me, Reedy. We're up to episode 44 now. If you are still with us after 44 episodes of this, I'd take my hat off to you if I were wearing a hat. It's a good effort and thank you so much for staying with us. If you're new to the show, please click the subscribe down below. Please give us a like. Please comment anything you think, anything you like, anything you don't like, anything you want to see me do. Please comment down below. It's always good to see that and reply to every single comment that anybody puts on there. But most important of all, make sure you click the little bell so you never miss another episode, because that's the last thing I would want, for me to pile out loads of this shite and you to miss it. So anyway, let's crack on with the show. We're going to start with How Old? We gave Scotland a miss last week, went to the Netherlands, but we're back there again this week. They just give us the best footballers that have aged badly. It's a public health warning, kids. Do not eat deep fried Mars bars. You may end up ending up like some of our How Old characters. Anyway, this week we've got a player we're going to, well, I mean, he would be called Hotshot if I was giving his actual name away. He started his career with Kilmarnock, scored 38 goals in 60 games for the Killie before he made a switch to St Mirren. He found goals a little less easy to come by, got 18 in 102 appearances for the Paisley club. He then made the switch to Queen of the South and he was back amongst the goals. More importantly, this is where he got this photo taken at Queen of the South. He notched a further 25 goals in 83 matches, giving him 81 career goals in 245 games. Now, hitting the net that many times is impressive, but for the Hotshot, this is clearly the pinnacle of his career. What we want to know is when this picture of Hotshot Ronnie Hamilton was taken, how old was he? I know, it is a good one, isn't it? You got to admit it's a good one. So, Little Shouty Man, he's not been on for a little while. The best thing with Little Shouty Man is the one part where I don't type any notes to remind me. The one part where I just rant about something in football which is pissing me off. So here is the latest one. So I've been watching the Euros this week, and obviously, like all of us, we're getting wrapped up in the Euros. And I was watching the, what game was it? Belgium game, Belgium v Denmark. It was only last night. Amazingly, I managed to forget that in the space of a day. And they cut to the crowd as the game was going on. Belgium was just having an attack, and they cut to the crowd showing that attack. And there in the crowd, literally every person doing this with their phones. Not being funny, people. You've been locked out of football grounds for a year. What are you doing with your phones up? Put them in your pocket, watch the game. I want to see limbs. I want to see people throwing themselves all over the place, celebrating goals. By all means, film some footage of the anthems. Film some footage of the singing before the games to get the atmosphere. Film some footage of the mascots running off the pitch, whatever. The minute that starting whistle blows, put your phone in your pocket and don't bring it out again till half time or full time. There's just no need. We don't want to see people on their phone. Penalties. There was a penalty the other day. I can't remember the game for the life of me. There was a penalty. Literally every person behind the goal with their phone filming the penalty. For God's sake, make some memories. You're not going to watch it on your phone anyway. If you've got a video of a penalty on your phone, are you going to go back and watch it? Of course you're not. You just go on YouTube and type it on. It's, oh man, so frustrating. All I want to do is see people celebrating goals. I can guarantee you tonight, I'll film this on Friday night. If Scotland or England score tonight, I don't think we'll see many mobile phones, I'm not going to lie. I think we might see some people celebrating, some people going over netting, some people jumping across seats. I don't think we'll see too many phones. So there you go, there's my rant for this week. People on mobile phones at football filming the action as it's taking place. Put them in your pocket, watch the game, end of rant. So, Dad v Lad the Euros. We started it last week, so Kian, aka Lad, is taking on me, aka Dad. We predicted 3 games in the Euros last week, so you're going to see how we got on with those. We also look ahead to predict 3 more, including, of course, tonight's massive England v Scotland clash on Friday night. So, let's go to Dad v Lad, the Euros. So here we are then, another week of Dad v Lad, the Euros. We started this last week with 3 games. So good evening, Kian. How are we?
Not too bad. How about you?
Are you ready to review last week's results?
No, not really.
Let's crack on with last week's then. So Wales v Switzerland. We both drew a blank. So I went for a 1-0 win for Switzerland, which was looking good at one stage. You went for a 2-0 win for Switzerland. So neither of us got any points there, despite your in-depth analysis of Switzerland.
I still can't believe they didn't win. But I'll tell you why they didn't.
And they didn't play the bloke that you said should have played.
That's why.
Yeah, well,
if he played, they'd have won 2-0.
So England v Croatia. So you picked up a point. You went for 3-1 England.
Yeah.
But some right smart ass picked England to win 1-0 and got 3 points. That'll be me.
Once again, we didn't play my player that I said.
Well, there you go. Okay. I knew they wouldn't play him. That's why I went for 1-0.
Well, it worked out all right.
And then the other game, we won't bother talking about that. We both got it wrong. So the Scotland, Czech Republic, neither of us tipped the Czechs to win. So after week 1, it is you 1, me 3 after week 1 of the Euros. So we've got 3 more games to predict. Again, we've got the 2 of the home nations. We'll do that one last because that's the one the biggest one. And then obviously we've got Wales, although they play tonight because we're filming this on Wednesday. We're going to do their game at the weekend when they play Italy. So we'll start with Portugal v Germany. Massive game now because the Germans are under a bit of pressure. Have you got your Bible of information and statistics?
No, it didn't work last week.
So you're just blagging it.
Well, I've seen them all now. Last week I hadn't seen any of them.
All right, okay.
So I had to look into it, but this week I've seen them all.
Okay, so Portugal won their opening game 3-0. Germany lost their opening game 1-0. Massive second game for both of them. How do you see it going?
That Portugal game was the biggest false image of a football game I've ever watched in my life. That's not a 3-0 game. I mean, I said I didn't think they were that good yesterday.
I think you used the expression they were shite.
That is what I said, and they were shite until the last 2 minutes. They got a penalty and a goal. I really didn't think they were that good. Saying that, I didn't think Germany were that good last night either. So I've gone for Portugal-Germany being 2-2.
2-2, blimey. Right. Well, I didn't watch the Portugal game, so I only saw the score. So I can only go off the fact of you telling me they were shite, then winning 3-0. So to me, that's the sign of a good side. You look through their team; it's very strong from back to front. More so the front 6, I think, than the back 5, but they're still very strong. Germany, they look limp up front, very, very limp. Timo Werner, the offside king of the Premier League. Kai Havertz, who just looked like he wanted to be anywhere but there. Thomas Muller, he's probably as old as me now, I should think. Mats Hummels is as slow as me, having watched him trying to chase Mbappe down the wing. I think Portugal have too much. I think the Germans are in big, big trouble after this game. I'm going Portugal 1, Germany 0. I think the Portuguese are going to turn them over. I think Germany are going to be in massive trouble going into their last game. But we shall see.
I was more kind of going for the fact that if we finish top of the group, we have to play one of those 2, and I just picked the one I'd rather play. So that's why I've gone for the draw.
So I think it's Sunday. It might be Saturday. Italy against Wales. Now, if Italy win tonight, both of these sides are through already. So this game could become a bit of a dead rubber, although both sides will still want to make sure that they finish top of the group and get the easier passage through in the last 16. So Italy, Wales. So Wales, obviously, we've seen tonight, they've beaten Turkey 2-0, quite comfortable as well, really. They drew with Switzerland at the weekend. The Italians, I know you didn't see them, but on Friday, for me, they were the best team we've seen in this tournament. Although I will now counter that by saying Turkey have been shit in both games. So how good were Italy and how bad were Turkey? We'll see later when Italy play Switzerland. So how are you seeing Italy-Wales?
So obviously, like you said, I didn't see the Italy game, but everyone said they were really good and they won 3-0. So that's obviously saying something. I've seen Wales twice. First game, I really didn't think they were that good. I think they were lucky to get a point.
Hang
But today,
hang on. Gareth Bale's penalty has just come past the window.
I think it's just hit me. It was awful. But they were quite solid today. I thought they probably could have scored more. But saying that, I still think they're going to lose. I think Italy will put 2 past them quite comfortably.
Yeah.
And 2-0.
2-0. Okay, so this is a difficult one because if Italy win tonight, I think both teams are going to rest players. I still think Italy's second strength side against Wales' second strength stride is too strong. I was going to go 2-0, but as you've gone 2-0, I'm not. I'm going to go 1-0 Italy because I just can't. I can't see Italy not beating the Welsh. To be honest, I think they're just going to be too strong. So I'll go 1-0 Italy because I'm not going the same score as you. And then
it's not allowed.
Friday night, let's face it, the game that most of 2 nations, at least in this competition, have been waiting for. England v Scotland. Scotland off the back of a disappointing result. Not a disappointing performance because I don't actually think we played that bad, but a disappointing result. England off the back of winning their first ever opening game in the Euros. It's at Wembley. England know if they win, they're probably through. Scotland know if they lose, they've got it all to do in the last game against Croatia. So go on then, give me the English point of view, and then I'll give you the Scottish point of view.
So I think there's a lot of people saying we didn't play that well on the weekend. I can see where people are coming from, but that midfield of Rice and Phillips worked very well. And I think that's a really strong midfield against players like Modric and Brozovic and all of them in the midfield. And that was a good starting place for them. I mean, if we create more in there as well, then I think we could do quite well here. And I mean, it's a massive game for Scotland, isn't it?
Well, I mean, it's your cup final.
Well, no, ours is like France and Germany and, you know.
Don't give me that, because Twitter on Monday when we lost was full of English people cheering the fact we'd lost. And we get caned for cheering that England lose. It's just as bad.
It was a great goal.
As much as we want us to win. That's the way it is. It's just a rivalry. It's fine. It's not a problem.
I'm just a big Patrick Schick fan.
To be fair, I am now after those 2 goals. He's pretty special. I've never seen it. I've never even heard of him before Monday.
But I think that although my prediction, there's kind of like 2, but obviously I've got to pick one. But I've gone for 3-0 to England, but everyone just listen. I think it'll be 3-0. But if he doesn't play Foden or Grealish, one of them 2, and he keeps Mings in the team, I think we'll concede. It'll be 2-1.
So what are you going for?
3-0.
3-0.
Right. I think it depends on the team.
I'll go the Scotland point of view. It hinges on one massive, massive thing, and that's Kieran Tierney being fit. If Kieran Tierney's fit, we've got a much better chance than we have if he's not fit. We've not got many top level players. Tierney's one of them. I would argue Tierney gets in England's team at left back. I would argue he nearly gets in there at left centre back, to be honest. We haven't got that many that were getting your side. In fact, me, you, and Harry sat down the other night, and I think we got 3 Scottish players in the team.
Yeah.
1 we were probably being, I had to battle to get 1 in. 2 we got in comfortably. 1 we had to battle for. So,
and I'd argue against it now.
And Tierney's one of them. So it's very difficult if he's missing, that's 1/3 of our top level players. That said, so here are the things that I will now put to you. We've got nothing to lose now. Absolutely nothing to lose. Monday, everyone expected us to win. The nation expected us to win. We were fired up like a Billy O to win. The national anthem was as loud as it's ever been, even though there's only 12,000 in there. We were all pumped to the max. And it was almost inevitable that we would fall flat on our face and lose. There was something almost inevitable about it. So we come to Wembley Friday. Everyone's expecting us to get battered. I've seen tweets saying 5-0, 4-0. You've just said 3-0. The papers are saying Harry Kane's going to score from the halfway line. England are already counting their 6 points. There's no pressure on us at all on Friday. None at all. If we lose 3-0, everyone will say, well, that's what we thought would happen. That's what we said would happen. I don't think we'll lose 3-0 because I think we'll come and we'll have a right old go. And we always, no matter what any Scotsman says, we do raise our game to play England 100%. So we will play 2 levels above where we would normally play, because any Englishman, any Scotsman, sorry, it is their dream to beat England at Wembley. Anyone that tells you any different is lying, right? So that's from a Scotsman. Anyone that tells you any different and says it doesn't matter, it's just another game, bullshit. Winning at Wembley is what a Scotsman dreams of doing for Scotland. And that will still stand, no matter the money in the game, no matter, you know, McTominay playing for Man United, Tierney at Arsenal.
I mean, he's English, isn't he?
Hey, steady. Don't tell him that. They'd all play top level Premier League football. I'm telling you now, for all of them, Friday and winning is far more important than anything to do with their club teams, especially the likes of Andy Robertson, who has grown up through the ranks. So I think we'll get a draw. I genuinely think we'll come and get a draw. We could get battered. We could lose 3 or 4-0 by being brave. But I don't think Clark will be brave. I think he'll just look to keep it as tight as he can and try and hit you on the break. I think we might go in front and then you'll batter us for about half an hour or so and eventually break us down and get one. I don't see loads of goals in your team. I really don't. I know you've got Kane, but you don't. Croatian keeper on Sunday didn't really have a lot to do. He probably had 2 to make.
We hit the post, didn't we? And that was it, really.
Yeah, but so you don't create a massive amount of chances. If you created loads of chances, I'd be much more worried. But you don't create a massive amount of chances. So for me, if we can keep it tight, and we've got to play really well. We've got to play the top of our game. I'm not kidding you now. We have got to play at the very top of our game and hope that 1 or 2 of your players are a little bit below par. And if the likes of Mings, Pickford, who we all know have got a ricket in them, have one of those days, then we've got a chance. And in football, everyone's got a chance. And I think with it being a local derby, a local rivalry, it always makes it a bit closer. And no matter what the form guides, it always makes it a bit closer. I'm going to go 1-1 because I can't tip us to lose. I just can't tip us to lose at Wembley. I pray to God we win, but I'd rip you off for a 1-1 draw right now.
Yeah.
So I think because it's for a bit of fun, I think we need to have a little bit of a bet on the Scotland-England game because it's only right. So the Scotland-England game obviously is on Sunday. So next week, because you're the massive favourites, yeah? So you're expected to win. So if we get a draw or a win at Wembley, you have to do next week's wearing a Scotland shirt.
I haven't got one.
I will lend you one. Don't you worry.
I knew that was coming. Yeah, go on.
Right. So if we get a draw or a win, you're wearing a Scotland top to do next weekend's. And if you win and take the mickey, I'm bringing out that photo of you with a Scotland flag in Mallorca.
Forceful.
Right, Kian. So we'll just go through the results then. So England, Scotland, you've gone 3-0 England, I've gone 1-1. Portugal, Germany, I've gone 1-0 Portugal, you've gone 2-2. Yeah. Italy, Wales, you've gone 2-0 Italy, I've gone 1-0 Italy. So one game left to watch tonight. Who's on tonight? Italy,
Switzerland.
It's not part of the game, but how are you calling that one?
I did it on my Twitter earlier. What did I say? I think I said 3-0, but then I forgot about that Mbolo beast up top for Switzerland. Yeah. If he plays well, it could be quite close. I go 2-1 Italy.
I'll go 2-0 Italy, but that's not part of the game. So the score at the moment, Dad v Lad the Euros, it's Dad 3, Lad 1. Let's see how these 3 games pan out. For now, Kian, thank you very much.
See you in a bit.
And it is back to the show.
So there you go. Kian, a draw or a win for Scotland tonight. Kian will come on Dad v Lad wearing a Scotland shirt next week. Just to help him out, it will be this one he will be wearing. If you keep watching Zooming In later, I have come up with a forfeit for me, not based on just the England-Scotland game, because let's face it, you're red hot favourites, you got to win. We're expected to get drubbed, so, you know, anything is a bonus. Premier League managers, it's a knockout. Here we go, we're down to the semi-final. The last 4 left in the competition are number 1, Marcelo Bielsa, number 2, Jurgen Klopp, number 3, Pep Guardiola, number 4, Brendan Rodgers. So We will draw then the category for the semi-finals as well. But without further ado, let's crack on with the draw. So you've heard the numbers. I've done it by numbers this time to make it a bit more exciting. So can't even read my own writing. That is number 4. So number 4 is Brendan Rodgers. And because again I have no glamorous assistant, I will have to write these down as we go. And Brendan Rodgers will play number 2, Jurgen Klopp. So Rodgers v Klopp, which means number 3, Pep Guardiola. We know who he's got. Number 1, Marcelo Bielsa. So Rodgers v Klopp and Guardiola v Bielsa. Interesting ties set up there. So there's 2 categories left. So choose my left hand or my right hand. Left hand, Rudy. Okay, you've gone for left hand. Interesting choice. So that is the category. So it's take a penalty. So quite simply, the category goes as follows. Rodgers takes a penalty against Klopp. Klopp takes a penalty against Rodgers. Who comes out on top? Guardiola takes a penalty against Bielsa. Bielsa takes a penalty against Guardiola. So next weekend we'll review the 2 semi-finals, and then the polls will go on after the reviews next weekend, which will take us down to the final, all building up nicely to end around about the time the Euros finish as well. So there we go, semi-final draw done and dusted. Rodgers v Klopp, Guardiola v Bielsa, which leaves just one thing. Boom, 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 boom. Still got Euro fever, even though we might not be left in it for very much longer after tonight. Let's bring our little mate on. Here he is. Right, Ted, how's it going, mate? Not bad. Have we got no Jimmy Bullard this week? Ah, go on then, Ted. Roll Jimmy Bullard.
It's the Bulldog. Massive congratulations to Stoke Gabriel and Torby Police, Football Club on your merger. What the bloody hell does that mean? Anyway, best wishes in particular to the youth section. The future's bright, people. Keep working hard, and I'm sure you'll go from strength to strength. Good luck. It's the Bulldog. Let's have it.
Yeah, there he goes. Brilliant. I'm still not sure that was meant for us or Stoke Gabriel and Torbay Police. He's still pissed, wasn't he? He was definitely pissed, Ted, without a shadow of doubt. So, Ted, anyway, you enjoying the... what's going on with your hat, man? It's falling over your eyes. Let's just sort Ted out, because this is not a good look, is it? There we go. So, are you enjoying the Euros? What? That singing competition? Nah, it's shit. No, not Eurovision, Ted. The Euros, you know, the European football well, that's confusing. So in Eurovision, is the aim to get 0 points from all the countries that voted? No, Ted. The aim is that the higher number of points you get that wins. So if you got like 350 points, you were the winner. But the UK got 0. I'm aware that they got 0. There's many reasons why they got 0, Ted. Mainly the song was shit. What a waste of time. Why bother? Why bother? Why don't me and you enter it next year? Me and you doing Eurovision, Ted. Now that would be a laugh, wouldn't it? Maybe. Just maybe. Any songwriters out there wants to put something together for me and Ted? Eurovision, beat the first man. Could be. Really, we'd be shit. You're right, we would be shit. I tell you what though, we'd have a laugh. Anyway, so your lot was shit the other day. What are you talking about? Scotland. What was your keeper doing all the way out there? Ted, I know, but he wasn't expecting him to shoot from there, was he? It was just one of those things. It was a freak goal. Absolutely unbelievable. I'm not being funny. Any further out of his goal, he'd even sat crying in the front room with you. Ted, it was a very, very high pollen day. I had some hay fever. I was struggling. It was making my eyes water. Yeah, whatever. Anyway, do you want the nominations? Yeah, go on then. I haven't got any nominations. There's just a winner. Why did you say have you got any? Do you want the nominations then? Just seeing if you were listening. Well, of course I was listening. It's the show. This is what we do. So who's your winner then if you got no nominations? So the winner this week of the Euros Little Knob of the Week has got a new name, Ted. Yeah, Euros Little Knob of the Week for the Euros. Okay, so who's won it? Step forward, Antonio Rudiger. Ah, yes. The German defender, Antonio Rudiger. I know this one, Ted. So only 2 weeks ago, we pulled up the Bournemouth player, Jefferson Lerma, or Lerma, I think I called him Lerma quite a few times, Jefferson Lerma, for biting an opponent and being done for it. So what did our friend Antonio Rudiger do the other night, Ted? No friend of mine, really. I don't have idiots for friends. A fair point. Okay, well, here's what Mr. Rudiger did. Yeah, so in front of watching millions during the game, he decided whilst marking Paul Pogba, he would have a little nibble of him, a little bite of him, you know. I mean, the cameras won't notice, will they? Of course they bloody will, Reedy. That's where you got the picture from. I know, Ted, I was being ironic. Well, it was shit. It just, you know, just tell it as it is. Okay, I was just trying to add a bit of humour. Don't, you crap at it. Okay, anyway, so... Again, I repeat my phrase from the other week. 2 things. A, why would you bite an opponent with loads of cameras watching? B, why would you bite an opponent full stop? It's just stupid. It gains nothing. You're not gaining an advantage, have you? Maybe he was hungry. Yeah, maybe he was hungry, Ted. But you can't just go biting opponents. So, Antonio Rudiger, you are indeed Ted's first ever Euros Little Knob of the Week. What's his mask all about, Reedy? Is he some sort of Marvel hero? Honest to God, man. Anyway, see you in a bit. I'll have to guess how old that milkman is. What milkman, Ted? Well, there's no way he's a pro footballer. That fellow in how old? He's got to be a milkman. Okay, see you in a bit, Ted. So, this week on Zooming In, we were back with some musical guests, and it was the boys from a band called Fallen Angels. So they're a covers band from Oxfordshire. You may recognise one of the members of Fallen Angels. He's, let's just say he's been on the show once or twice before. Anyway, we had a good chat about music, we had a good chat about Euros, we talked about the Scotland-England game, and of course they came up with their five-a-side team, as we all like to do. And at the end of it, there is a clip of the Fallen Angels in action even. So here's Zooming In with Fallen Angels. Let's go. Right, so welcome to another week of Zooming In, and this week I'm joined on the show by the boys from Fallen Angels. We're joined by Dan, who you can't see, but he is behind his writing on the screen. Good evening, Dan.
Good evening, how are you?
Yes, not bad, thank you, mate. We're joined by Charlie. Okay. How are we, Charlie?
Yeah, not bad. Hope all's well with you.
And then one face you may recognise in the top left, Mr. Davis, who's probably after his hat-trick ball now, is coming on as musician. This is second time as a musician. So one more for the hat-trick ball. So how are we, Tom?
Yeah, not bad, mate.
Good. First off, gents, thanks for coming on at such short notice. I know I kind of dropped this on you at the start of the week, so much appreciate you coming on at very short notice. So thank you for that. But
no
so Fallen Angels. Go, tell us all about you, what you're about, who are you, what you're doing, where can we listen to your stuff, blah, 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 usual stuff. Sell yourself, boys.
Right, so we're a Oxfordshire-based covers band, party covers band. You know, we do all sorts of upbeat music from 60s to noughties and modern day. I'm sure Charlie and Dan can tell you a little bit more about the band as they've been here for longer than I have, but yeah.
Yeah, the band started in 2016, I think. It was 2015. Sorry. Started with just 2 of us. The original singer is no longer in the band, hence now we've got Tom.
Yeah.
Tom joined pretty much when the pandemic started, so we've literally only just done our very first gig with him, which was very good. So we're just waiting on more, really. We played a wide sort of range of venues, from small pubs to bigger sort of festivals in the summertime, and we do seem to get a wide variety of crowds, don't we?
Yeah, you can find us on Facebook and Instagram as well, Fallen Angels, and then on Facebook, and then Instagram is Fallen Angels Music. We're posting a bit more on there now, and hopefully we'll have some gigs to share with you. We had 2 cancelled thanks to the lockdown extension, which is a bit unfortunate. But we do have one on, I think it's the 22nd of July, I believe, at the Bell. So there is
25th.
25th of July. That's it. Cheers, Dan.
So does that mean that this one has been cancelled?
It has, yeah. You're the first to hear about it. It was postponed. Actually, we do have a new date.
Cancelled.
We will be updating about the new date, and any tickets bought can either be valid for the new date or refunded if you can't make it.
Oh,
so that includes your ticket.
It was a beat the first man night out.
Yeah.
Fuming. Oh, I didn't know. Well, I kind of half guessed it might get cancelled, to be honest. So when it was locked down, but it must be good. I know obviously you've only just gone back out and done sort of one gig, and now obviously this has put the kibosh on it for a few weeks. It must be good to be getting back out playing again though, properly.
Yeah, definitely. I know obviously it's done a few sort of post-COVID shows myself, but the one with a band was definitely the most what seemed like normal, being outside and having a decent sized crowd as well, and obviously playing with a full band is always better.
Yeah, it was so good getting back to it after 18 months, without playing a single show. Considering the year we had in 2019, we did 50 shows in the year, to then doing just a handful at the beginning of 2020, and then our first one back, say last Saturday, is now just. It feels so good to be back, really. Yeah, it's just a shame that the upcoming ones are kind of had to have a reshuffle due to the restrictions not easing fully yet.
Yeah, I mean the good thing is at least it does seem like it is only going to be a sort of 4-week delay, and then hopefully you can get back out. Fingers crossed and everything. You can get back out playing properly and really circuit.
Yeah, fingers crossed. Anyway.
Well, yeah. Let's not tempt fate, eh?
Yeah.
We've been. I feel like we've been down this road once before.
Yeah,
more than once.
Yeah,
a few times.
Funny that.
So, obviously, essentially, you're a covers band. Is it something you're going to be looking to start doing your own original stuff as well, or is that something that you're quite happy doing what you're doing? Or
I mean, I don't think it's something we'd rule out. Certainly, I think covers, that's sort of a completely different market essentially to originals music. Parties and stuff like that. You can't really, unless you're booking Oasis or one of the biggest bands in the world, then covers is sort of the way to go, because you want songs that people are going to know. And I just feel like there's just a lot more sort of opportunities, I think, within to get good gigs, get good money gigs, things like that. Which, definitely wouldn't. I wouldn't look down at original music. I've written original songs in bands before, and it's definitely something I wouldn't rule out anyway.
I've never actually even attempted to write a song yet. So it'd be something I'd obviously be able to try. But essentially the whole time it has been a covers band. So
yeah. At the end of the day, you got to think of it that we're running a business, so we've got to make sure that the business is sustainable by providing music that people want to listen to. All of our bookings that come through, we are a young covers party band. It'd have to be a select audience that if we were ever going to start doing original stuff, it'd almost be like a separate project, I suppose. Yeah,
and that's fair enough.
Sure.
I think the fact that at least you know what you're looking to do, you've got a direction you want to go in. It doesn't really matter, does it? At the end of the day, it's each to their own. If that's the route you want to go down, and it works. Happy days. Why change it?
Yeah, exactly.
And being musically challenged myself, other than listening to music, I'm quite pleased to hear, Dan, you saying that you've never wrote a song, because I haven't either. So I feel like I could be the sort of the extra wheel in the band if you ever need one. Because
I just wouldn't know where to start.
Where do you start?
Do I start with words or do I start with the music? No.
DFG, Dan.
So this is one for each of you, and this is a new one. So I used to do a bit of either or with the football, but now I'm bringing in a bit of a musical one. So if you could collaborate with any artist in the world, and you can only collaborate with one each, you can have one each, who would it be?
Dave Grohl for me.
Oh, that's my one.
You can both have it, it's fine.
Yeah.
Oh, can we both have Dave?
Yeah.
Can they be dead?
Yeah, of course I can. Yeah.
Oh, it'd have to just be anyone from the Eagles, to be fair. Anyone from the Eagles. That'd just be my dream.
King of the Eagles, Charlie.
King of the
So
Eagles.
we're not the same. I'll go Freddie Mercury.
Oh, fair.
So if you had the choice and they were all alive, so you can either collaborate with that artist, but you never get to play again as a band, or you keep playing as a band, but you don't collaborate with that artist. Which would you do?
No, I'd stay as a
I'm not
band.
going for
Stay as a band. Stay as a band.
Yeah,
I'd
yeah,
stay
yeah.
as a
Same.
band.
Yeah.
That's
We're all
very,
agreed on that.
very honourable of all three of you. So, gents, moving on to football then. Obviously, it's the Euros at the moment. How are we all enjoying the Euros so far?
Oh, very much. I've never watched so much football in my life, I don't think.
I think I've watched.
I'm just finishing a 7-day isolation period. I go back to work tomorrow, so literally just been in front of the telly all day.
The title in perfection.
Yeah.
I think I've watched a bit at least of every single game so far. Obviously not all the games, but
Yeah.
bits here and there.
And so each of you, who's your standout team so far, and who are you fancying to win it?
Italy.
Oh. Yeah, Italy were decent. I think after looking at, I watched France Germany, and although it was only 1-0, it just looked like France just was so like effortless in that game, and they were just any of the German pressure they just soaked up and just didn't bother them at all. So I think, I don't know, I can't really look past France. I know it's a boring prediction saying France will win, but I just can't see them not winning really.
Charlie,
it's got to be England, isn't it?
Yeah.
Or you lot.
We'll come on to that in a minute.
Yeah.
England looked decent against Croatia. You know,
Yeah.
you've got a few easy games hopefully in the group now. So yeah.
Ready?
Yeah, I don't know about that.
I've got to say the Italians to me have been brilliant. I think both two games they've been fantastic. Their pressing and pressure has just been unbelievable. I've not seen an Italian team play like that. It's really strange to see an Italian side play like that.
They haven't lost a game since 2018 as well, apparently. So
it's ridiculous. I mean, I know they were banging on about the clean sheet record last night, but if you look at the games they played in that time, they've not really played anyone who's actually ever going to score. But
like San Marino.
But to go 30 games unbeaten is in any level is pretty impressive. I heard that and all. So we're recording this on Thursday night. Obviously, it's the big game tomorrow. It is the game of the Euros, no matter what anybody says. It's England v Scotland. So we're going to start with someone who might be a little bit neutral in Tom, slightly, because he's Welsh. So, Tom.
Barely,
but
how's it? How do you think it's going to go tomorrow night?
I think it's going to be a 2-0 England win. I think England will go 1-0 up early on. And then we just soak up the pressure. Scotland will have a few near misses, I think, and then I think they'll score second half again. Be 2-0. Not too much of a whitewash, because I think watching England for the last few games, they don't seem to go for the throat as much. They like to control the game, control the ball a lot. So but I can see them being comfortable. I'm going to go 2-0.
Charlie?
I'll go 2-1 England, I think. The defence looked a bit shaky at times against Croatia, so I wouldn't be surprised if they concede a goal, but I still go for an England win.
Can we go in front at least?
No.
Just give me that moment of being in front, and I can just touch the telly off at 1-0. Dan?
I'm going to say 1-1 because I think Scotland are going to be absolutely up for it. And I think defensively, there's questions asked of us. And I'm just not fully convinced with Southgate as a manager. I think he's too defensive than he needs to be.
Oh, bloody hell, Dan.
But I'm going to go. I think we'll go 1-0 up. I think Scotland will equalise, and then I think it'll finish. 1-0.
I think we've had a big boost today with the news that Tierney's fit. Tierney's massive for us, and I think we've only really got 3 or 4 what I would class top players who would challenge getting in England's starting 11. Tierney, Robertson, McGinn, and McTominay, who would even get close to the starting lineup. To have one of those out would have been a massive loss. So Tierney being fit is a big boost. And I think that's the nation has suddenly lifted another couple of percent with the fact that he's fit. There's also 20,000 piss Scots about to roll up in London. I've been watching videos of them getting off trains. And so it's the usual shenanigans. It won't be so much of a home game for England because there will just be loads of Scotland in the home end because there always is. My head says the same as you, Tom, is that England will win 2-0. My heart says 1-0 us with a spawny last minute winner. You just don't know. You just don't know. I didn't think we played that bad Monday. That was what was frustrating. We didn't play that bad. We just got, if we'd have had their striker, we'd have beat them. Simple as that. Our strikers.
You just need your keeper to stay on the line, didn't you?
Well, it would have helped. So, Tom, Wales look like they've all but confirmed their place in the last 16. How far do we think they're going to go?
I think I can't see him beating Italy after how good Italy were again last night. I haven't, to be honest, I'm not sure because I know the tournament layout is really weird because of how many third place teams are going through. I don't know whether they'll be playing a first or a second or whatnot. But I think if they're not playing one of the big nations like France or anyone like that, I think I can get past the round of 16, get to the quarters and see what happens. I think, you know, with the attacking talent that Wales have got, I think anything can happen, really. I mean, we saw how good Bale was last night. Obviously, he wasn't great against Switzerland, but last night, apart from the penalty miss, he was class. So
I think the penalty's just come past my window.
Yeah. I reckon I'm going to go quarterfinals. I reckon they'll get knocked out in the quarterfinals to someone like Belgium.
Well, you set yourself up for this one, Tom. So if Wales do happen to play England, who are you cheering?
Wales. I'll go Wales. Yeah, my dad will kill me if I don't say Wales, but it's a tough one because I don't have anything like I'm not, because obviously living in England your whole life, and back when I was younger, you know, Wales didn't really have an international football team, so Dad wasn't exactly the biggest Welsh football fan in the world, and any World Cups are on, we watch England and whatnot. So if you ask me the question in rugby, it'd be very easy, but no, I'd like to see England win. But not against Wales.
Fair enough. So Dan and Charlie, so how far do we think England are going to go? Well, Charlie, you made it obvious. You think it's coming home?
Well, you've got to think that, surely. Southgate's the one, you know. I don't know why Dan's getting all like, oh, no, I'm not sure on Southgate.
Cautious.
He's the one. I just think back to 2018 when Trippier put that free kick in, and I was in Aston at the time, in the Red Lion in Aston, watching it on this projector with like the rubbish, the worst quality I've ever watched a football match on. Like the audio was like 10 seconds out of sync. It was just rubbish, but it was amazing because there was like 20 geezers in there. That was all there was. And ever since then, it's just like you got to have that feeling. And then obviously now the Euros are on, it's good. It's coming home. I reckon.
You've got to believe. I mean, I think you've always got to believe. I think, you know, we get heart back to tomorrow. I believe we can come and win there tomorrow. You have to believe. It might all come crashing down for us within half an hour and tomorrow, and for you boys the minute you step foot in the last 16. But you have to believe that you're going to do something special, and you know, why not think you can win it? You've got players. I'm with Dan a little bit. I think actually the coach is the one thing that could hold you back. I've got to say, I think someone else in charge, I would be a lot more worried about you winning it. Dan?
I'm going to go semi-finals again, like 2018.
Oh.
I just think by the time you get to that stage, it's the best teams left in the Euros. I think teams like France and Italy and possibly Belgium, I just think that they would beat us, because with England we always beat the lesser teams fairly comfortably, although Southgate likes a 1-0. But as soon as we come up against one of the better teams, especially in the knockout stages, we do struggle a bit more. So semi-final again.
We shall see over the next couple of weeks. So I'm gonna. This is a bit of an exclusive for you boys, but obviously it'll go as part of the show. So there's a bit we do called Dad v Lad, the Euros. We started it last week, where I go against my youngest son. Now, obviously, we've predicted England, Scotland. Now he cheers for England. He supports England. I cheer for Scotland. So I said if Scotland get a draw or win, he has to do next week's in a Scotland shirt, because obviously we're expected to lose. So I'm going to say right now, if England win the Euros, I will host the first show after the Euros in an England shirt. And that'll make his night. So That's where I think England will get to. I don't think they'll win it. Put it that way.
Ooh, that's
I can
bold.
see. I think they'll get quarterfinals, semi-finals. I don't think they'll. I think they'll fall just a little bit short, personally.
I think we're looking back to the World Cup as well. You know, obviously they got to the semi-final, but who did they really play in the build-up other than Belgium? And they lost to Belgium in the group, and then lost to them in the third place playoff. So I think they were very fortunate in that World Cup. And if they win their group, they're going to be facing either France, Portugal, or Germany. So
Charlie's like a coiled spring. Go on, Charlie.
I'm just thinking back to we played Colombia, Sweden, and then we lost to Croatia, didn't we?
Yeah.
Yeah, it should be
I think
all
that
that
was it.
really.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I don't know what the running is on our side. I don't know whether
It doesn't look good.
If winning the group is a difficult run. I think if you win the group, I think it's a much harder run because you definitely
unless we strategically let Scotland put a few goals past us
There's
tomorrow.
the answer,
we save that.
There's the answer. It's good
to have an easier run.
It's good to hear my English friends getting their excuses in early. So anyway,
for us, then.
The bit that the musical guests all seem to enjoy more than talking about music, talking about football, where they become managers for the day and pick their ultimate five-a-side team. So the only rules are you have to have seen them play live and in the flesh. Has to be a goalkeeper, a defender, two midfielders and a striker. And unfortunately for bands, the only rule is it's one team between the band. So let's start with your goalkeeper then, boys. Who have we gone for?
So we went for Edwin van der Sar.
I'm just going to write
not a bad start.
Put the pretty pictures up when it comes to Saturday.
Yeah. I saw him play at the Kassam back in, I think it was 2006. Played friendly against Oxford United. This is where all my players have come from. I only watch Oxford.
Well, it was either that or Simon Eastwood, wasn't it? Or
Ryan Clark. Yeah.
I saw him at the Kassam. I thought you were going to say you saw him at Old Trafford.
Nah, no chance. Don't have that sort of money going paying watch Man United.
What a pre-season friendly that would have been.
I know, yeah. I mean, I was 5 or 6 at the time. Don't remember it too well, but
didn't Ronaldo just go wild and just score like 4 or something?
Yeah, I think he scored a few Solskjaer scores as well.
Yeah, that's nice.
But we're spoiling the rest of the team now, Dan.
Yeah, oh, sorry.
Well, I mean, he was such a unit when he was just massive. That's the only thing I remember. Yeah. He was just huge, and for a striker, it had to have been imposing to see him coming out at you when you were one-on-one. I know Schmeichel was big and imposing, but Van der Sar just looked huge.
He's covered a lot of the goal.
Yeah, definitely. You wouldn't have fancied.
And imagine him in a little 5-a-side goal.
Yeah. So Van der Sar in the sticks. So who we got as your defender?
Company, isn't it?
Yeah, Vincent Company again at the Samstag. Actually, I did see him at the Etihad as well. Actually, I forgot. I've actually been to a Man City game. Yeah, so Vincent Company, just a City legend, isn't he? Really? And bit of a just solid centre half. Don't let much past him.
The best thing about Company, as well as being a great defender, had to be when you know you're leaving a club and you're retiring at the end of the season and you're struggling 0-0 against Leicester, desperately needing a win to win the league, and you twat one in from about 35 yards into the top corner. Yeah. And just say, thanks very much, I'm off now.
Me and Charlie are Liverpool fans, so we didn't like that one.
Well, I was tipped off you were Liverpool fans, but that wasn't why I mentioned it. It was just a beautiful way to retire.
Yeah, to be fair.
If you could pick your retirement moment, that would have been it. It was just absolutely quality for a centre-back as well. And they did miss him.
Yeah.
It took them, it did take him a while to get over losing him, I think. And it's only now Diaz and they look a bit more solid at the back again. But no, class act, very, very good player. So 2 midfielders. So who's the first of your midfielders?
Go on, guys. This is your one.
Gerrard.
Yeah, Gerrard.
Stevie G.
Yeah, Gerrard.
Not
I think I've seen him. Have you seen him, Dan?
I have, yeah.
Yeah, you're not the first Liverpool fans to pick him, and you won't be the last, I'm sure.
No.
Yeah.
So it's with Stevie G. So obviously we had the Lampard thing with England that they just couldn't play together. No matter what they tried, they just couldn't play together. Do you think that was more down to Lampard's attributes, Gerrard's attributes, or just the fact that they were too similar?
I think too similar.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I just think, I don't know if like one of them wanted to play more attacking than the other. One of the, you know, it's almost like England were better when they only had one of them in. But then neither of them would have wanted to sit on the bench. But yeah, it just never worked. I don't know. Maybe it had something to do with the rivalry for their clubs.
Yeah.
I think it's probably down to management and the fact that they are two similar players. You know, really, realistically, you don't really want them both on the same pitch. You know, you wouldn't have them sign for a club and play together because it didn't work. And I think the whole thing was they were just forced to play together by the management because they were the two best, apart from Paul Scholes, they were the two best centre midfielders in England. So they were just forced to play together. Whereas personally, I think having Scholes sitting and then Lampard or Gerrard would have been a better call. But
yeah,
there you go.
One of life's mysteries, never to be solved.
Yeah. Yeah.
So don't tell me you've got Lampard alongside him as your other midfielder.
No, we haven't. We've gone. Well, it's a bit of a debatable one, but we couldn't really leave him out. So I put Ronaldo in midfield because I think he plays wide he played wide for United anyway. Certainly, I know he's more of a striker now, but yeah, back when I saw him anyway, back when I was 5 or 6, he played on the wing.
We do have one rule on this show, Tom. You can't call him United.
Man United.
Thank you. This is old school show. You get pulled up for shit like that on here.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, what can you say? What can you say about the bloke that's not already been said? He's a beast, and he drinks water, as we now all know.
Yeah, doesn't fancy.
Oh yeah.
Coke bottle.
You don't like him doing that.
Did you see John McGinn today?
No.
Yeah.
So John McGinn had his press conference today, and they put water out in front of him. He said, "Where's my Coke?"
I think apparently he waited for a band of players for moving the stuff out because Pogba moved the beer, and then I can't remember which manager it was. He actually drank the bottle of Coke.
Yeah, but I did find it quite amusing. It was just you can't help but feel a little bit of it just making it about him, but he's a class act, a top player, and to still be at his age and still be as fit as he is, and playing at the level he is incredible.
I don't even think this will be his last thing. He'll play in the World Cup next year as well.
Yeah, I mean,
probably
37, 36.
He's up there.
Yeah, I mean, Jesus Christ, to have had a body like that at 37, bloody hell. I'd have settled for a body like that at 17, let alone 37. So you've got two pretty good midfielders feeding the ball through. Who have you got as your striker?
Suarez.
Luis Suarez. First one to pick Luis Suarez, to be fair.
Yeah.
I initially wanted Fernando Torres.
Yeah.
I think, the band convinced me that overall Suarez is probably better. I just preferred Torres.
Yeah, like Charlie said, Torres only had a few seasons, and then he was a flop, wasn't he? But Suarez is hungry for goals wherever he goes. So
yeah,
see what you did there, Tom.
Bit too hungry sometimes, but
yeah,
he's a class player. I went to see him at game against Norwich, like 2013. They won 5-1, and he scored 4 goals. He scored a hat-trick in something like 17 minutes or something. And all 4 of his goals were just incredible. He scored like a volley from like 40 yards or something.
Yeah, I remember.
Just like I was like second row seats in the main stand. It was just like, oh my gosh. Unbelievable.
He was brilliant and still is brilliant. I mean, he's just won the league with Atletico Madrid again, 35 years old or whatever he is, and still looks like he's got the same passion for the game as he had when he was, a kid playing on the streets. My favourite thing about Luis Suarez, so 2 things about Luis Suarez. I went on a work trip to Uruguay at the start of last year, just before the pandemic. He is literally God. If you say anything bad about Luis Suarez in Uruguay, honestly, look out for yourself, because there'll be people coming to find you. He is not a man that you can bad mouth in Uruguay. No matter who they support Man United, whatever. Luis Suarez is God in Uruguay, without a shadow of a doubt. But my favourite thing ever is his ultimate shithousing for Uruguay against Ghana in the World Cup, when they were going to score an injury time winner, and he just punched it off the line. It was absolutely brilliant.
And then they missed the pen, didn't they?
Yeah, they missed the penalty, and he celebrated like wild in the tunnel. And that's what you want as a football fan. You want to see your centre forward doing that, because it was just every fan in Uruguay would have been celebrating with him in the tunnel when they saved that penalty. The fact that he's punched the ball off the line is completely irrelevant. It was just beautiful. Ultimate shithousing. Absolutely loved it. So we got Van der Sar, Company, Stevie Gerrard, Cristiano Ronaldo, Luis Suarez. Boys, that is some strong five-a-side team. I'm gonna next week. So next week we've got a guy coming on from a band called Sensis. Now he lives in Milan. He's an Inter Milan season ticket holder. So quite possibly his team may run yours close. But I don't know. We'll have to wait and see. See what he comes up with next week. So he's coming on to talk about Italy, funny enough, that we spoke about earlier. He's going to be my Italy correspondent for the Euros.
There you go.
So gents, thank you so much for that. Last but not least, before you go, there will be a clip of the Boys of Fallen Angels performing afterwards. That'll be on as soon as we finish here. So when's your next gig, boys? Obviously, you said about a couple being cancelled, etc. Where can people next see you that won't get cancelled, all being well?
Yeah. What date's that, Dan? You had the date.
Sunday, 25th of July is our next gig. Yeah.
At the Wantage.
We are rearranging our Fat Little's Whitney gig for a date in August, and that's going to be confirmed tomorrow. So it'll be confirmed by the time this podcast is out. So go and find us on Facebook, and you'll have a look. And Fat Little's will be the one after that.
Right, okay. I shall keep hold of my email ticket then and wait the news.
Yeah.
You've destroyed my evening, you know that, don't you? You've ruined it.
Looking forward to the night out. But
oh, boys, honestly, thank you so much. I've loved that. It's been a blast. And
absolute pleasure.
You know, I hope everything goes well for you. I hope the lockdown properly lifts up so you can get out and do what you guys love doing more than anything else in the world. And, you know, fingers crossed, all being well, that the dates match up. I will catch up with you all for a beer when I come and watch you at Fat Little's in Whitney in August, all being well.
Yes, awesome.
For now, here is a clip of the boys in action, and it's back to the show. Thank you, gents.
Cheers.
So there you are then. They were good lads. We had a bit of banter about the Scotland-England game. I'm a little bit gutted that my concert ticket is now null and void, as that's been cancelled. So, but hey ho. Next week's show, we have a little bit of a treat for you. It's a repeat performance from the boys from Senses. You may remember them. You remember them of Mickey Doyle fame in the five-a-side team? Well, it's another member of Senses coming on this time, and he's actually an Italian resident. So he is our expert on Italian football. He's going to come on here and tell us why Italy are so damn bloody good. And to be honest, why you need to be getting your money on them to win the Euros. I don't know if he's going to tell us that bit. That's my prediction. That's where my money's gone anyway. So, it's time for this.
The name game.
Yep, it's still the only part of the show that's got its own jingle. So before we start this week's name game, we were going to have a footballer, and he was from north of the border. But I chose not to. I've chummed him off, basically, for his off-field, I'm going to call them activities, but basically criminal activities. So David Goodwillie, you missed out, mate. It's a good name, but you missed out. If you want to see what he's done, go and Google it. I'm not going into it. I'm not going to give it the time. So instead, we went to Zimbabwe and sunnier climes. And this man, sadly, and this is what everything I found on the internet about him, is better known for his name than for his footballing abilities, which I feel a little bit sorry for him, to be honest. He might just be playing the wrong position. He might need another team. His teammates might be letting him down, anything. All I can give you really, because there's not much to find about him, he's a defender who plays for a team called Kiglon Bird FC. Ladies and gentlemen, I present to you Danger Fourpence. That is a 5p. That is not a 4p, that is a 5p. Please, can we have Danger Fourpence? That's better. There he is. Danger Fourpence. What a fantastic name. So next week, be sure to tune in. We will have another man for the main game. Something to look forward to and plan and diarise for your week. If you're that sad and you're diarising this, Jesus Christ, you seriously need to get out more. Anyway, the Bears back, so it can only mean one thing. Time where we reveal the age of the pro footballer that we showed you earlier on the show. Do you mean the milkman, Reedy? He is not a milkman, Ted. He was a pro footballer, a goal every 3 games. What did he do? Ask defenders how old he was and they just fell about laughing and he ran on and scored. No, Ted, that is not what he did. That's not nice. Anyway, public guesses first, Ted, as always. I've just got them down here. So, Joe from Stowe. Sorry, he isn't 37. No, Joe, he isn't. He looks way older than that. He does, Ted. I can't disagree. Andrew from Crewe. How come all these names and places rhyme, Reedy? Do you make them up? Of course I don't, Ted. This is the general public putting in their votes on how old they think people are. Anyway, Andrew, I'm afraid he is not 21. Bloody hell, is Andrew pissed? I don't know. He's not 21, is he, Ted? 20? He's never been 21. I think he came out the womb at 24. Yeah, well, so anyway, what we need to do... So, Ted, how old do you think he is? You're so smart-ass tonight. How old do you think he is? 33. Nailed on. No problem. Pass me the winnings. There are no winnings, but let's find out if you're right. So, when this photo of Ronnie Hamilton was taken... I can reveal he was 26 years old. Reedy, do piss off. You are making up the public names, you're making up the public guesses, and now you are making up ages in saying he's 26. Ted, I can assure you he was 26. Well, if we ever need someone to play him in a Crime Watch reconstruction, we need to go hunting for a 55-year-old to cover him. Ted, I'm not being funny. He's just not aged well. Not aged well, he's just old, before his time. I'm going now, bye. Oh, okay, Ted. See you later, mate. Anyway, that is another episode done, people. Thank you so much. I hope you enjoy all the silliness. I hope you enjoy all the fun. It's not meant to be taken too seriously. There's been a few people on Twitter come back to things saying, oh, I'm done now. I'm out of here because we put the polls on for who baked the best cake. See, if you take this show seriously, Jesus Christ, honestly, don't. It's not meant to be. If it's the first time you've ever watched it, like I said earlier, please click subscribe down below. Please click the little bell. Make sure you never miss another episode. Make sure you give us some thumbs up for the old likes, because we do like those. Ladies and gentlemen, that is it. It's Friday evening. It's Scotland v England night. I am literally now buzzing. Can't wait for the game. We might get humped. We might win. We might draw. Who knows? But to be honest with you, isn't it great to have the fixture back on the calendar playing each other? It's just, for both sides, it's just great. So I hope you all enjoy the game, whoever you're supporting, even my English friends that watch here. I hope you enjoy the game. I hope the result doesn't go your way, but I hope you enjoy the game all the same. And ding ding, next stop, Saturday the 26th of June, which will be episode 45. So see you then, everyone. And as always, stay safe.